Good evening. Spat Cat Productions. Sitting in the backyard again. Just, chilling out a little bit. Didn't really do much today. Listened to a little bit of Ethan Van Sciver and his deal with The Guardian, from London Guardian. Yeah, and he's got some issues with them. It's obviously they're going down hard against Comicsgate, which is unfortunate. Other than that, let's see what else has been going on. I've been listening to some Audible books. I'm really into the trying to think of the name of the Ark Royal series by Nuttall. Decent, overall storyline. It's captivating. So if you're into the sci-fi genre, it's definitely worth a listen. Other than that, not a whole lot going on. Not real thrilled about some of the stuff that's been going on with SJWs lately. Let's face it, I don't really believe in the whole SJW thing. It's been used too much in the last, say, 5 or 6 months that you really don't know what it means. I like the idea of soy boys and stuff like that. That makes a little more sense. SJW, though, has been used in too many circumstances where it sometimes isn't necessary to be used. That's not to say that they aren't out there. They are. And they are ruining things for people. They are ruining people's lives for no reason whatsoever other than the fact that we don't believe what they believe. It's a hard line. It's basically what it is. You used to have that issue with, like the alt-right and whatever. Now, the alt-right still sucks, don't get me wrong. I have no love for them either. But I think that, the problem is that we've got to hit it down the middle, or you could go a little to the left or to the right, and, we could all be happy. Just because you're Republican doesn't mean that you're an idiot. Just because you're a Democrat doesn't mean that you're a tree hugger. Yeah, you got the extremists out there. Every political forum has them. And you gotta just sit there and go, you know what? That's what you believe, man. Go ahead, live it up. Because, this is America. We get the right to believe what we want to. So I'm not going to sit here and tell people that they can't believe in what they want. Other than that, really, it's just an issue where we're gonna have to just, speak up on things. Make it so that people can act in a civilized manner without, having, one side or the other jump down your throat and say, hey, you're not doing it our way. Yeah, well, you know what? I'd rather have it where I'm doing it my way. So, it's always going to be that way. I'm going to always do things my way. That's just the way it is. If you can't, deal with that, there's other places where you can listen to people. Come on. What I am putting out is my views on what's happening. Alright, so I mean, like, you got Les Moonves friggin' hurting people, forcing women to do unspeakable acts for his enjoyment is not what I call an acceptable behavior. But I'm also not going to sit there and judge the man. That's not, well, I suppose on this particular channel, it is my job to judge him. So my judgment is that he needs to be put in a hole and buried. So let's get a shovel. That's basically what it is. I mean, he's a nightmare, and he needs to be buried. Shovel time. Okay, so let's move on to the next victim of our... Well, let's not call him a victim. Let's just say that he's he's not Moonves, but he might as well be if you're thinking about Star Trek. Kurtzman doesn't know about Star Trek, doesn't love Star Trek, and yet he's running Star Trek. I mean, it goes against all logic that this man is anywhere near Star Trek. There's no logic to it at all. The way I see it, it's the man needs to go. I mean, put somebody in there that's going to do it right. We need to, who's going to respect canon? Who's not going to sit there and say, you know what, we're not even going to give lip service to the old show. I'm sorry, but that's taking that thing one step, that extra step too far. You have to be able to recognize what you're seeing. If you're going to put the name Star Trek on something, you've got to be able to recognize it as such. So, alright. Other than that, you got your usual problem with freaking Kathleen Kennedy, who hopefully by the end of this month will get, fired. Well, she won't get fired. She'll step down, make it look like she's, no longer interested in doing it. Save her, whatever. And then hopefully with her gone, Ryan Johnson will, basically be out of a job, and we won't have to see that freaking nightmare that he calls a trilogy that he's probably trying to make right now. And everybody knows that nightmares aren't good. So I don't want a nightmare trilogy. I want to have a Star Wars trilogy. Right now we are in the midst of Nightmare. We don't need another Nightmare trilogy. Alright, so if we can get rid of his trilogy, that would be a plus. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot to say on anything else. I'm going to try and get a few more things on my Patreon for Patreon only. I got a couple of reviews in there right now. These are from older movies. I'm going to see about getting... I'm going to rewatch Unforgiven tonight and do a quick review on that. And probably put it out tomorrow. Alright, as far as this evening goes, it's Bat Cat Productions, signing out.